Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan James, and I decided to do my presentation this week on issues in communication within the workplace. So, my personal workplace experience, I've spent the majority of the last 6 years of my life working at the Home Depot. I've worked mostly as an overnight associate, so graveyard shift. However, when I first started, I have spent about a year as a daytime floor associate. So, I've seen the workflow from both angles of the store and any issues that can cause between the two workflows of the store. And one problem that sticks out above all the rest consistently is communication between the two associates, so night crew and day crew. And communication is incredibly important, but in this instance, both aspects of day crew and night crew is that they rely on each other. They form this symbiotic relationship to where what happens to one will affect the other and vice versa, and you can't really avoid this. So if night crew falls behind and day crew can't work efficiently, and if day crew falls behind, then night crew can't work as efficiently. And it can sometimes breed rivalries between the two and a blame game that can sometimes happen if there is a communication breakdown. So communication between the two shifts is vital to know what needs to be done and what can be done and what can be ignored on a day by day basis. So what happens when communication breakdown? Uh, Often both shifts live in different worlds because just of how the shifts line up. You'll have people coming in to start their shift at the end of the day, right as the closers are ending their day. So a lot of times it'll just be you see them, you say hi, and then you kind of just go on your own way, and you won't see them until like the following morning. And again, you'll see them for a very short amount of time. So most workers tend to just ignore one another and never really communicate because you just don't see each other that often. So like an example of what can happen is if you don't communicate would be like the day associate would order a certain item because it's out of stock. The night associate gets swamped and isn't aware that that particular item is out of stock, and even though it comes in, they fail to finish the workload, and so it never gets put on the shelf. So the following day, when the next day associate comes in, they get pushed with a lot of pressure from like the managers because they have an item that says is in the store but is not on the shelf, and now they need to go and they need to find it and they need to sort all this stuff out, and that can breed problems because that's the day associate losing time, and it could have just been solved if the day associate said, hey, I need this, be sure to get this done because this is really important. So a way that you could address this problem, day associates before closing could fill out, let's say, like a priority sheet or some kind of form that the night associate would then read to like what they could do on a priority basis. So be like, okay, if it's like I wasn't able to finish this, I would really appreciate if you could get this, this, and this, and this done. But it doesn't matter if like this stuff can get done later, for example. And then before the night associates leave their shift, they could just on the same sheet just put like the checklist of what they were able to get done and what they weren't able to get done. So at least if they weren't able to get everything done, the day associate coming in could look at that sheet and be like, okay, this needed to get done. And this wasn't able to get done, so at least I know what I need to do to make sure everything is running smoothly for the start of the next day. This simple fix could solve many annoyances that are caused between day and night crew associates. And because this would allow people to work much more efficiently, it can be linked to a direct increase to profits that the store could get on a daily basis because people are working much more efficiently. So in conclusion, my experience has shown me multiple instances of communication breakdowns and how frustrating they can be, and the kind of wedge that gets driven between day and night associates. All communication breakdowns cause much more work for every party involved, including night shift, including day shift. And simple additions to allowing day and night associates to communicate more easily and more readily available. Many of these breakdowns can be avoided. And finally, if there are less breakdowns in communication, there should be a direct link to profits that increase worker morale because you're in a friendlier work environment, as well as profits for the store in general because they're getting more done in less time because it's more streamlined. So anyway, that's my presentation, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you for your time.